Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of the Center for Education Reform, Miss Jeanne Allen.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Please have your seats. Thank you so much. So let's hear it from Michael Musanti again. What a fabulous entrance. If anyone was paying attention to his Hello Dolly, it was very cool, right? Thank you, Michael. I mentored him, but I also made him sing. I'm so sorry. Thank you, T. Willard, for your beautiful blessing. You know, I called 2 cardinals. I'm a good Catholic. I thought they'd respond. So I had like revenge. I got the Black Baptist. And I can't wait to send them the video, Cardinal Dolan, Cardinal World. No, seriously, they were unhappy they couldn't be here tonight. But T. Willard, you and I have fought in the wars together, and I'm so grateful to you for having been here. And I also want to thank my husband, Dr. Kevin Strother, who gave that enormously just moving rendition of the national anthem. You know, T. Willard reminded us that we need a little God in our life, a lot of God in our life to do this work, and Kevin's national anthem reminded us what a great land this is and the opportunity it affords us. I hope you like your tables. Is everyone happy out there? Good? Because the names actually mean something for someone at the table. So see if you can find out why your table is named that, and I'd love to know what you think. You know, I don't know about you. I bet you're all figuring it out. That's great. You know, I love it. You guys are figuring it out. Okay, shush, listen. I don't know about you, but I love the Rat Pack. And it's not a stretch to say that education reform is a lot like the Rat Pack. We didn't just think this was going to be a great party. There's actually a method to our madness. Think about it. Frank Sinatra and his pack had high standards. They were serious about their craft, and they surrounded themselves with the best and brightest in show business. The Rat Pack was like many reformers. They came from nothing, and they believed there was no limit to what a person could do. Here's Sinatra with some wisdom that fits our shared goals. What's the secret to doing good work? Never to accept anything without question. Never ignore an inner voice that tells you something could be better, even when other people tell you it's okay. The Rat Pack also stood for diversity. Sinatra himself wouldn't tolerate anyone who discriminated. He said, "You've got to put the most into everything that you do. You must try to do the best with a decency and a dignity and compassion for your fellow man." Not bad for a little Italian guy from Hoboken, huh? I know it sounds crazy, but his success story, the Rat Pack success story, is ours. It's the story of you and those you serve who start with only what they have at birth and who have unbridled potential. When I started CER, it was with a singular purpose: to expand access and restore educational excellence in our nation's schools. To do that, I needed a plan, some resources, people, and partners. And I found my first partner in Jerry Hume. Jerry, would you be so kind as to stand for me? Jerry was one of those really amazing partners who said, "Interesting idea. I'll give you a little. If it works, I'll give you a little more. Come back in another year. Maybe there'll be something more there." And I think I hooked him for a little while at least. Thank you, Jerry and Patty. It was a new age for education reform back to 1993, and we found lots of accomplices after that, willing and ready to go, and buoyed with a sense of clear urgency, commitment, and passion. I was excited because I was encountering regularly people who, given the right tools, were ready to lead. The lawmakers, the proverbial just moms and dads, civic leaders, entrepreneurs, even the media. Within a few months, we were writing and speaking. We were being called to strategize on how best to get new laws done. Days became weeks, which became years, and plans and ideas became proposals, which became strategies. And over those years, we've been joined by new leaders who helped start new organizations, many of you in this room, and helped fill in the web that now makes up the modern education reform movement. And now we're here, and 20 years later, boy, has time flown. The work has never been easy. Success is never easy. but it's the most rewarding thing I will have ever done. Next to my 4 kids, of course. And there are 3 of them actually in the room tonight. I hope you'll take a minute to say hello. Now, please don't let that go to your head, guys, okay? You know, there's never enough money. You have to manage all the pieces, operations, legal, personnel, and more. I mean, who needs business school when you can learn on the job? The learning curve is steep. Board members and funders weren't always happy with us. Some still aren't. Some thought it should be easy to plan, to find money, to find great talent, pay them low wages, fly the plane while you're building it. We made mistakes. We faced them. We moved on. Some people don't. I pray for them almost every day. They're in my head. Some of you are out there. I have your emails. But despite the challenges, what got me up every day with a renewed commitment, what gets us all up is the work and what it stands for, and the knowledge that it truly is right. My staff has made that possible. Dozens of staff over 20 years who have made our work possible, they really have, and I could not be standing here right now, composed, looking at a speech, looking at you out there, if I didn't tell you that it truly is the people behind the person who gets the job done. And I just want to thank all of them out there tonight who have helped us get this work done and over the years. So please help me in thanking CER staff, past and present, and future. You know, they work at a feverish pace to keep up with all the needs and opportunities that present themselves, even while staying true to the big picture. And what makes it more difficult for them is that our activities will change often, as many of you know, because the circumstances truly demand it. Yet we never waver from the mission. We are proudly opportunistic. Some have called it unfocused. But what they forget is that what we do is not about the plan, but whether the plan is working. And sometimes, in fact, frequently, the plan has to change to fit the circumstances. We believe, all of us at CER, that's best to focus on what and where we are most needed. Without an opportunistic outlook, all of us just become the movement and like those we sought to change. And that's what gives us focus, the opportunity to turn on a dime if necessary. And I'm grateful to those who have made sure I've kept focused on the real need over the years. Most of them, frankly, are people you don't know and names you don't recognize because they are the quiet participants who serve kids and implement the policies we believe in every single day. And in the service of those kids and their need for a great education, the work needs to constantly evolve to fit a new time, a new generation, in fact, a new day. Every generation has its talents and dreams, its unique selling points, vantage points, and talking points. Today, the movement for education reform is generating and being generated by a new generation, a more sophisticated set of technologies and ideals. This generation is leading our best schools, our foundations, our research organizations, and it will be better than mine. They are more relentless in mission and yet more cooperative. They are patient, not like me, yet they are resolute. They are focused, but they are fun. When I was 30, there weren't a lot of us starting or running organizations. The increase in young professionals joining us daily guarantees longevity for our movement, and it ensures that it'll be a permanent fixture in the enterprise of U.S. education for years to come. And it is incredibly empowering. New leadership means steady and full success for choice and accountability in education. And oh, by the way, in that order. Choice and accountability, for one begets the other. Let's never forget, in our madness to prove ourselves to people who have no interest in being on our team, that choice is the driver for accountability, and accountability is not possible without choice. Now, in my love affair with the next generation, just don't get me wrong and let me be really clear. This next generation, you are ready, but we helped you get here. We made it cool to come to the party. We took the lumps and the arrows, the founders of this movement for social change and social justice, people like Bill Bennett, Howard Fuller, Lisa Graham Keegan, Tom Carroll, Chris Whittle, and so many others tonight. You built the foundation of reform, and you made it possible for others to create and build new organizations and achieve their goals more quickly. You did. It wasn't easy, but you made it look that way so that others might be more willing to follow, because who the hell is going to follow someone that looks like they're having a hard time all the time, right? So by doing that, you took what was once heresy and you helped it become mainstream. And that means that our quest to make schools better for all kids could be accelerated because we stormed the beachhead first. The foundation of reform was created by people and stories some of you may have never known. And that is the purpose and reason we are launching Education Reform University, because history is the best teacher. And it is a handy guide to avoiding repetitive failure and ensuring repetitive success. History will show you why we coined the phrase parent power and how so doing opened the door to parents who might never have ever been engaged. It'll show you who and how the tripartisan support was created and resulted in the first charter school laws in this country. And it will teach you how and why we began to change the complexion of the room. But with all the successes, there is so much more to do. We must reach the people who have not yet been to the party or the parade. And we need their hearts, and we need their minds. I have been so fortunate to be part of a movement that parallels the history of this organization. It has given me a front row seat to see how things are done and to see their impact, and to know when to question others' actions and judgments, which we must do if we truly care about advancing our shared mission. To really understand what's necessary and how to make it happen, one must have deep and firsthand knowledge of what's actually going on out there, out of this room, out of this town, often out of the capitals. One must know the conditions, the background, the cause, the effects. One must understand data, and one must know what it means. And more importantly, probably most importantly, one must know the people who are doing the work. It's easy to get fooled by people who are disgruntled or who complain. Some think that being smart and well-intentioned is enough to get a seat at the table. But let's never forget that credibility is earned. It's not awarded because of money, bravado, or degrees. And smart people can be wrong. Facts matter, and they matter for adults, and they matter for kids. The best advice I can give you all, veterans and those who've only just begun their work alike, is to always pay attention to those on the front lines who are doing the work that results from the policies that we advocate. They will keep you focused, they will keep you humble, and they will keep you honest. The front lines are not intermediary organizations, by the way. They're the parents, they're the teachers, and they're the students that others claim to represent, but often do not. The new leaders must understand this. To do the work, they must be prepared to question authority. Remember that old 60s moniker? I love it. They got to question authority, and they have to even question their friends. And I know they will. And I am so excited to pass the baton to this next generation of active learners. And freed up from the daily concerns of taking care of my baby, I'm prepared to act and do things for children and their education in ways that maybe are yet unimaginable to me. It's exhilarating and it's scary, and it's time. So I leave the way I came in, not sure of what's next, but knowing that I'm on the right course. I'll let you in on a little secret. It's actually no accident that I chose November 1st, All Saints' Day, to end my tenure at CER. It's a tribute not just to the real saints that have guided me along the way, but those mortal saints who actually are responsible for our collective paths here. Sometimes we forget the importance of those who are permitted to do the work, who permitted us to do the work we do every day, who were often mocked, maligned, and took the arrows, but kept fighting. They were often the first to do or say something that may have seemed a little out of place, or even daring, perhaps crazy. Bill Bennett talked about character and content and choice, and was dismissed as a lunatic. Wow. Barbara Dreyer started a company to deliver online learning. The nerve! Deborah McGriff dared to challenge Detroit educators to put kids first and has had a hand in making sure just about every major organization has done that too. The Gleasons put their business acumen and resources to work pushing real freedom in this country for families and kids. And oddly enough, that's a movement that incurs the wrath of self-proclaimed defenders of education daily. Yvonne Chan told her superintendent that schooling could be done a better way, and she proceeded to build a whole city block, and now 10, doing it her way. She was one of the first. And Michael Moe, he convinced investors to enter the education field and make money work for kids. What a concept. Think about the meaning behind this great Gershwin tune. Show the words on the screen. Maestro?
The odds were 100-1 against me. The world thought the heights were too high to climb. But people from Missouri never incensed me. Oh, I wasn't a bit concerned. Far from history I had learned how many times the wine had turned. Mama Mademoiselle, they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round. They all laughed when Edison recorded sound. They all laughed at Wilbur and his brother when they said that man could fly. They told Marconi wireless was a phony. It's the same old cry. They laughed at me, warning you. Said I was reaching for the moon, but oh, you came through. Now they'll have to change their tune, yes. They all said we never could be happy. They laughed at us in how, but oh, 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 who's got the last laugh now?
That's it. Thank you. I don't want you to give the punchline away. Right? Isn't that amazing? Isn't it amazing how life really does imitate art? I know you all thought I was going to sing that. I almost did, but Armstrong sang about a recurring theme in history. New innovations and ideas are more easily dismissed than digested. They get laughed at, scorned, and today blogged about. The world wasn't round, of course, and public schools have always worked for everyone. Saying otherwise and doing something about it was heresy. But Columbus and the Wright brothers were lucky. The skeptics did change their tune when they saw that these crazy men were right. The skeptics today, well, we're not so lucky, at least not yet. And that's why we're gathered here tonight. Knowing and understanding history is the path to a better future. We celebrate people tonight as classics of education reform, who are exemplars of so many more, because they had new ideas and were not afraid to push, defend, and stand up to the skeptics. They've made history, and it's time for everyone to know it, and to know every chapter and verse of education reform history. I never knew when I started CER that we'd be at the cusp of a movement that with a little push and pull, lots of information and challenging convention, that we would be approaching critical mass in cities and states, and indeed nationwide, in disrupting class, convention, and old, tired, worn convictions. History is still unfolding, and it will continue to be written for years to come. We must know it. We must understand it. We must nurture it, or frankly, we must get the hell out of the room. At least that's what Frank would say. And the other thing old Blue Eyes always said is, the best revenge is massive success. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a phenomenal rest of your evening. Please give them your undivided attention, or I might have to come over to your table and bludgeon you with your knives. I am Italian, it's coming out, I know, at the end. But please, enjoy the rest of the evening, and thank you so much for being here and being part of my life.
Laughed at Rockefeller Center, now they're fighting to get in. They all laughed at